It's about nothing less than the future of all communications and democracy itself. As internet speeds increase, television, radio, phone service, and technologies we've never even dreamt of will be delivered through a high-speed internet connection. It's the ultimate game changer. And that's why this is so important. As goes the internet, goes journalism, education, entertainment, community engagement, innovation, and the economy, among others. But the internet crisis that we're faced with today is twofold, and I just want to lay this out to you before we begin tonight. Our nation is falling quickly behind other countries in broadband speed and affordability because of regulatory failure to ensure competition and affordability. Failure in Washington. That's why there's no real internet service competition in 97% of our country. It's why companies like Comcast and Quest charge too much for lousy service and you have no choices. Overwhelmingly, the poor and the rural are left off the information superhighway. Industry-funded free marketeers claim that removing internet oversight will save the day, when the opposite is true. Just look to the regulatory failures that preceded the Wall Street crisis or the Gulf oil spill, and you can see what failed oversight does. The stakes are high. The second internet crisis is the very real threat to net neutrality. And people are starting to learn what it is. Only about a fifth of Americans know. It's the principle that all content is treated equally by companies like Comcast and Quest. Net neutrality has been the default law of the land since the birth of the internet over 40 years ago. It's the reason ABC News video runs through the web at the same speed as your cousin's wedding video. It's crucial. It's the reason why innovations like Google and Twitter were able to happen in garages by people who at the time could not pay for a fast lane from Comcast. The phone and cable companies and their fancy PR firms say that net neutrality is a government takeover of the internet. But the opposite is true. Net neutrality makes sure that all content is treated equally and that nobody, not corporations, not government, can slow it, block it, or censor it. It is the opposite of regulating content. Net neutrality protects everyone, from MoveOn on the left to the Tea Parties on the right, and if you've been told differently, someone's lying to you. But the details of net neutrality, our competition policy are not what will bring us here tonight. So I don't want to belabor the points. We're here because we're standing at a precipice. Despite the internet's vital importance to our democracy, there are no laws on the books that ensure net neutrality. The massive phone and cable lobby has seen to that. Worse, in April, a court ruled that because of changes made by President Bush's FCC, Federal Communications Commission, 8 years ago, today's FCC has no authority to regulate internet providers like Comcast and Quest. It's crazy. Or like Verizon and Google, who last week rolled out a proposal to abolish net neutrality and end the internet as we know it. The FCC has no authority to stop them.
The internet's working fine right now.
And the Federal Communications Commission has no authority over the 21st century communications system. That's why we're here. We're here because since April, FCC Chairman Janikowski has not moved to reassert his agency's authority, even though he could do so quickly. We're here today because a majority of the U.S. House of Representatives, that's right, a majority, have sent letters to the chairman telling him not to reassert his authority. It's unbelievable. It's like the Security and Exchange Commission being told they don't have authority over the banks and hedge funds and saying fine, and letting the chips fall where they may. And they fell 2 years ago, and we're all paying for it. But there is a silver lining. Fortunately, there are some leaders in Washington who are willing to speak up and do what's right. There really are. Despite the relentless telecom lobbyists who are second only to the big drug companies in lobbyist expenditures. Those lobbyists are the kingmakers of Washington, but there are some leaders who understand they cannot sit idly by while a handful of phone and cable giants turn the internet into cable TV and end the possibility that any website could become a television or radio network. Fortunately, there are some who have the courage and the conviction to stop the corporate takeover of the internet. A few weeks ago, one senator gave a speech that reignited a movement.